I fucked up, which is surprising because it's just been, a whole lot of videos that I haven't fucked up. But I accidentally started recording and then immediately stopped. So let me walk you through here real quick what you've missed. So we were talking to the cigarette guy, and he was really unhelpful and an asshole, and he said, "Fuck you, I'll see you later," and he flicked the cigarette away. And Kim was like, "Hey, we can get in a different way." And I was like, "Sure, that sounds like a good idea, but I don't know where the door for that is." So we just fucked off to the apartment. We opened the apartment and didn't go inside it. The game was like, "Hey, baby, you want to go inside it?" And I was like, "Nah." And we didn't go inside it. And then we walked past this wall on the way back. And apparently there was art on it. And Harry was like, "Wow, this is just the most amazing fucking shit I've ever seen in my life." And Kim was like, "Wow, this is fucking dumb. We're police, not fucking artists." And Harry was like, "No, bro, I need to go find this girl, Cindy the Skull." I looked her up on the wiki. And here's what the wiki says. Here's the title. Cindy the Skull is the title. And then below that it says Cindy the Skull is a character on Disco Elysium. And then there's a picture of her. And that is literally fucking it. And I don't think we've seen her. But somehow the game thinks that we've seen her. So apparently that's a task now, I think. Yeah, add even more beauty to the wall. You've seen an exceptionally beautiful wall near the pier, and you've decided to add its beauty artistically. Let's take a brush first. Who would have one, then paint one, then the art itself. So there's that. And then, fucks his face, chubby man over here was like, "Hey, did you go inside the door?" And I was like, "Negative." And he was like, "Good." And we got 70 big experience boys, which is great. And we still have one skill point left. This is coming along, 82%. And now we're talking to him, and he's like, "Now the real police work can begin." And I'm just checking to make sure that I'm actually recording this time. Oh yeah, I also reminisced on the fact that, like, when we first met Kim, the game was like, "This man would lay his life down on the line to save you," and now we're looking at art and punching kids, and Kim is like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" Anyways, by now I'm sure you figured out that Dead Man was working for the bad guys. Wild Pine sent to scare us another violent measure on top of that on the top hats against us flat caps. What do you mean? Harry, this strike is the culmination. I know what this word is. Culmination. 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 I know this fucking word. Hang on. English to English. Culmination. Culmination.
Culmination.
No, not Spanish. Just right.
Culmination.
Culmination. I knew this word. I knew what it means. I know how to say it. Culmination. many strikes. Many mistakes made by Wild Pine's group. He tried to shut down the strike by sending in armed mercenaries. You mean our victim? He nods gravely. A security contractor, can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire. I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yasut, Samani, Samarzia, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Hang on. Let me just make sure that I did get the other recordings, right? Like the one... Okay, I did get the part where I punched Kuna. Okay, so you just missed about 10 minutes. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world sum. Honestly, wait, is it not already? I guess it's not already. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. What is a village elephant? No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical, so is the village, but the mercs and the brutality is very real. Go on. Now I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying inside my container, you see? If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container, he laughs. Wait, they move the container? Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. His face turns very serious. The killers that the company hired, I think there are 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Shakes his hand. Even their own negotiator can control, and that's your boy, one who likes hanging out in trees. Oh. By negotiator you mean Joyce? Harry, He says, ignoring the lieutenant. What you need to realize is, we dock workers are no pushovers. We got grit, Harry. The whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough when we push back. When we do, he raises his finger. We push to kill. Wait, the whole neighborhood is in on it? Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for the home base. Who exactly did the pushing? There's a militant wing inside the Union, a group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly. Sounds a bit like organized crime. They're like you guys, he nods to the lieutenant. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen, and if they do happen, well, punishment must follow. Again, that sounds like organized crime. So these idealists killed our victim. One day, Titus Hardy, leader of the peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, Socialist Democratic hang on. One second.
Fervor.
Fervor. Comes up to me and said, "Boss, Social Democratic fervor." Hang on. Boss, Socialist Democratic
Fervor.
has drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this. Wow, we solved the fucking crime. Game over. We did it. We fucking did it. This beast that was burdening the land. He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. He sure sounded to me like they killed him. He chuckles. I gave him 2 weeks paid leave and told him to lay very low to avoid retaliation. Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this? Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. These Martinese boys tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. He chuckles. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them. If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel he's not worried. If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried. Places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error anyway. You mentioned a lawyer girl. Oh, Liz is a bright one, he grins broadly. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back in a fireball socialist. Sometimes she scares me with all her zeal. Let's talk about Titus Hardy. Titus Hardy and his crew. Oh, they're simply fine young men. All 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. He starts laughing. Gotta love his initiative. Interesting. Who's seconding him in? They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in their mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them, but don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. Where can I find them? Union booth in the Whirling was empty. You know what, Harry? He points his index fingers at you. I got a feeling they're going to show up in full force tomorrow. Lieutenant marks something in his notebook. In the future, I could use your backing. Can you ask the Hardy boys to cooperate? But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we conclude this talk. When you meet this Titus, tell him about this, see what he has to say. Also, Harry, there's 5 real. What was that? Wait, why are you giving it to me? I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real. Needless to say, this is another move. Don't take it. That would give me enough to get the pants. That would give me enough to get those pants. Those are some nice pants. Those are some nice pants. But volition. What is volition exactly? Volition is hold yourself to keep your morale. If this just takes damage to morale, I can fucking take it, champ. I want it. I need it. I need it. The lieutenant watches you in pocket. He looks a little puzzled. Oh. Oh, hey, look, we did it. What? Did I fuck it up? Did I fuck it up? Break the remnant. Heartache is power, but democracy is subtle. So, what? Now what do I do? Solution? Do I need to put a skill point into it? I don't fucking know. He looks a little puzzled. Good boy, a real team player. Now you do have any more questions? How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company? How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. He slams his fist on the desk. That's their MO. That's what they do. Last winter, some poor worker in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footgear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates. You believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor? You said it. Hell. The fist slams on the desk again. One of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. That does sound quite unlikely. Yes, the big guy leading the scabs gates is colossal. He's not scared of them. If anything, he likes them being there. Strange. Good talk. Let's conclude for now. Was it a good talk? He leans back, suddenly worried. I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really wanted to achieve in the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez, and of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. Great sadness comes over him, but it's like I can't completely trust you yet. Yet? Yes, Harry, it's like I can't fully trust you. If you're not a man of the left... Excuse me, he says, slowly shaking his head. I want you to, but I just can't. A man of the left, so you have to be a socialist democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't of socialist democrat. You're right not to trust me. What's that supposed to mean? I'm more left than anyone. It's not a corrupt scheme, isn't it? I'm neither left nor right. I do what my heart tells me. I do what my heart tells me. What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? This fucking guy and his lost gun. Does it tell you to forget about it, or do you think it wants to be found? He picks something from his teeth. I think it's lonely and cold. I think it wants to be found, and I have a proposal for you. What would this entail? Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. I just need you to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper. He pulls out an envelope and then mail it to my accountant in La Dilatima. What are the signatures for? Glad you asked, Harry. The union is going to build a modern youth center in Martinique. He grins proudly. It will be righteous. We're going to get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a little nameless street. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses in it. Most people have already signed. Just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground. Kim, what do you think of this? It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful. He studies Everett. But he thinks it's your call. As I said, it weighs on me heavily. He bows his head in shame, then looks up and smiles. But once we get all really talking, I'm going to hand you your keys to the Martinez, and we'll even help you figure out who's behind this killing. He's saying as little as possible. He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things. Where is this place exactly? It's on the coast, Harry, across from the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village. They're calling it a gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills. You know what? I'm gonna fucking take a picture of this description of this fucking area, because I know I'm gonna fucking forget it like a dumbass. Okay, on the coast, across the canal. What will happen to the current occupants? Deal with the construction noise. They're just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, then they'll be living like kings right next to the fancy youth. I feel like that's not the case. Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out on the street? Are you 100% sure they're not gonna end up homeless? Am I? The big man shakes his head in disbelief. Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to him. We're going to build a youth center there. The value of the properties will go up. The kids will have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug out from under them. Harry, I'm looking out for our Martinez, not just the heart. He means it. Well, that sounds like there's no downfall. I accept. You bring joy to the heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you here. He hands you the white envelope. You need to get signatures from local Sadie, Lionel Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop. Ooh, I need the pawn shop. Alright, I'm going to take a picture of this one as well. Gotcha, little bitch. You need the signatures from the cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there's some trouble with the water lock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. When the hell is that? Once you have the signatures, mail this to blah blah blah. Then we can talk about your gun. He runs his fingers through his thing there. Alright. See you soon. Blah, blah, blah. The man raises his hand in farewell. Just kidding, but not too much. Amazing. So now we got that. And then what did he tell us to do? Fucking shit. What was the other thing? Oh. Wait, this wasn't the thing where there were... Was it? Wasn't... Wait, didn't we get some other sort of task? No. Am I on crack? Is this the next move? What are you? Oh, hey, whoa! Hi. What the fuck? Moralist dialogue, options heal, +1 morale. Learning cap, raised to 5. Kingdoms of conscience will be exactly as it is now. Moralists don't really have beliefs. Sometimes they stumble on one. Like on a child's toy left on the carpet. The toy must be put away immediately and the child reprimanded. Centrism isn't going to change, not even incremental change. It is control over yourself and the world. Exercise it. Look up in the sky in the dark shapes of the coalition. Everything is normal on Earth. Moralist options heal, +1 more dialogue, which is not that big of a deal, but sounds neat, and then learning caps raised. Amazing. Let's do the next shortest one, which I guess would just be Aces High. And then we'll save, and then we'll call it a day. Wait, what exactly is the task? So I'm supposed to just get these signatures then? Guess so. Alright, fuck it. Well, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.